question. It not only applies to biology, but really to any of the heavy duty industries that I mentioned earlier. Building a company of consequence takes time. For us, the entire model of venture capital is to be patient capital, right? Ultimately, venture got its start by funding challenging long-term projects. And I ultimately think those are the use cases where venture should exist. So we want to be patient investors, and we want to be able to watch a company grow over a decade or longer. And we set those expectations with our investors. The LPs in Obvious know that we're here to build world-changing companies, and those companies take time, they take contextual awareness, and they take a lot of research, and they also take a lot of patience. So I think expectation setting on the LP side, in terms of how to set up a venture fund like ours, is really important. And then on the startup side, we definitely think that watching a company grow from seed all the way to a large, hopefully category leader, is going to take over a decade, not just in terms of FDA timeline, but also building out the platform, finding the right assets to advance. Those all take time. But I think the feedback loop is much tighter than that, because you're constantly learning what the platform is capable of. You have very asymmetric data and awareness of platform capability on the inside. And I think, the story of Zymergen growing over the last 7 years, it becomes increasingly clear that what they're doing has commercial viability and is interesting externally. But as insiders, we had that conviction very early on, not just that we bought into the story, but that we could see the results that were not publicly disclosed. And it was very clear that this method was working, and working better than anything else in the industry. So as long as we have that closed loop empirical evidence that these platforms are working, and we have LP support, and we have the disposition to be patient, then I think we're completely aligned to make sure we monitor companies that we're investing in, but we're not hurrying them to exit. We're making sure that they take their time, they stay longer in the private markets to make sure that they can build something that's long lasting.